Is it all right? Right. Welcome. As the MC has said, I'm here to give an expose of Bede. It's going to be a very little expose. I'll introduce a couple of things at the beginning. I'll have a middle, I'll have an end. It's going to be about 25-30 minute speech. It's going to be about 7 or 8. It's going to be about 7 or 8 minutes. But first, let me express a sorrow that Melissa's parents and the wider family can't be here. That the proper best man, Bede's best friend Julian, also can't be here. He's in Germany. COVID again. And also our brother Bede, who's maybe seeing this on video now at the moment. So they all can't be here. Now, first to welcome Melissa to the family. Yay! But this is causing a little bit of upset with a certain unnamed English woman who belongs to our wider family. She has been the favourite sister-in-law, the favourite daughter-in-law for a long, long time.
That's me!
But now, Melissa is the favourite daughter-in-law and sister-in-law equal. Right, we've got a wee timeline of Bede's life. It goes from here to here. But in actual fact, the story I'm going to tell starts a wee bit back here. Yes. So, for background of our family is made up of 1 girl and 5 boys. So, brother number 4, Mark, is going to school. It's morning news. Mark stands up in front of the class and he goes, "Mum's having another baby. But she says if it's a boy, she's going to drown the little bugger." There were people coming up at social functions and things at Dacre after this going, "Oh, I said he lived." We come on a few years. Bede's about 7. He's sharing a room with our sister Petrea, which Petrea sort of hated. Because Bede would go to bed before her, and he's meant to be asleep. And then Petrea comes into the room, and sure enough, Bede would be piping up with something and asking questions and that. One time, just before Christmas, Bede comes in, Petrea comes into the room and, hopefully Bede's asleep, but no. Bede goes, "Petrea, can I have some money?" And Petrea, that lovely older sister way that things happen, she goes, "What do you want money for? Mum gave you some money the other day. What have you done with it?" There's a little silence. And Bede goes, "I bought you a present." We're further on down the track here. Bede's about 15. Now Dad, rightly, never had a motorbike on the farm while the rest of us are growing up. He was right. Boys being boys, and maybe the tree would have had to go up the motorbike too. We would have done damage to ourselves. But Bede's the last child at home. Bede's on the motorbike. This is great fun. He's flapping around all the place. Vroom, 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 and he comes up to a gate and he doesn't stop properly. The gate stops him. He's lying down on the ground. He's sort of looking over at home to see if anybody's seen him, just to sort of come and pick him up. No. So eventually, after sort of 20 minutes of sort of shit, he decides he has to go home and get himself home. So he pushes the bike home and he's really hurt. He's really hurt. He gets the bike into the garage. But then he realises he can't tell Dad. If he tells Dad, he won't have the bike anymore. So even though he's really injured, that was less than the pain of not having a motorbike. We move on. We move on. This is the time now that Bede he's gone overseas, he's been to Canada, he's got a chemistry type degree. He's been to Thailand teaching English, he's been in Japan teaching English. He's been around Europe, he's biked around Europe and told lies all around there. And there's a thing called the Wild Foods Festival in the West Coast. Bede has a really good idea. He invents, and because I'm a writer I really like this note, Bede invents the magpie pie. Yes. So he decimates the magpie population of Southwood, Wellington, Brest, and gets these pies. 3 years in a row he goes up and he sells 500 pies at this Wild Food Festival. The worst thing was he basically sells at midday and he's got nothing left to do. So, just so you know, if any of you have a hankering to make a magpie pie, this is probably the world's expert. We're moving on. This is about, it's the 2008, 2009. Bede's living in Wellington at this stage. Now, you know how sometimes it's really difficult to know what present to buy for other people? Now, what are you going to get? What are you going to get for your nephews and nieces? So my 3 kids are here. Bede had this brilliant idea. Do you know what Bede got? He got a framed picture of himself. Right, it's sort of coming now towards the end. Because Bede was the baby. He used to get sort of teased quite a bit. And we lived on a farm. So whenever it was a birthday or Christmas or something like that, we would tell him we were going to go down to the workshop and make his present. So we'd get a block of wood and we'd draw a wheel on it, with wheels on it, and say, look, here goes a car. Or a stick of wood that had a particular shape, hammer and nail in it, and here goes a gun, Bede. Okay, so mostly we actually threatened more than we did. But Bede, because you've got married, because it's a special occasion, I have gone and I've made you something, and now I'd like to give it to you. So Bede, whoops, make sure the production's working properly. Bede, a present. Bede and Melissa, 24th of October. Okay, but that's not the end. That's a little bit of stories of Bede, because we love our brother. He's a clever guy who's done lots of interesting things. And I would like to. So Bede and Melissa met. They'd had a little bit of smartphone talking to each other. But Bede and Melissa met at midnight mass last year. Okay, it was the first time they actually met. And it wasn't long after that we came down for Dad's 90th. And we'd heard about this lad. And then, but even more unusually, that Bede had to go away. The whole family was there, and it was drinks times, and everybody celebrated. But Bede, he went and baked something because he was going to go out and meet this woman. Okay, there's something going on here. Things up to ourselves. second time of just sort of like, oh, hang on, there's something happening here. They came on tour about August. June. What? Whatever. Now there's two parts to this one. So they went on tour. They're eventually getting up to Rotorua to see some of Melissa's friends. Anyway, at the start of that trip, Bede asked Melissa to marry him. She said yes, which is really good. Could you imagine what a trip like that would have been like? And another, you like seeing your own siblings and family doing things, and Melissa and Bede came and stayed at our place one night. And there's a cryptic crossword that's in the listener. And it was so lovely from my point of view, seeing Bede, Melissa's a smart woman, but just sort of like helping her give the clues in that cryptic crossword and just the sharedness of what they were together. So we're really happy and this come to this event, and that Mum and Dad can also be here at the same time. So, would you please charge your glasses and be upstanding, and I will give a toast. So, Bede and Melissa, may your life be full of love, laughter and learning, and may you never go to bed angry with each other. Bede and Melissa.
Julian's a good name.